The Class 180 is an efficient and competent high-speed train. However, there have been problems, technical issues and failures. In this short programme, we'll look at some of the common faults and we'll look at some issues. Problems begin if you carry out the mobilisation procedure correctly. So you start the mobilisation procedure from the train, enter this cab. If you forget to do this, you'll be going nowhere. Check that the brake controller is the brake controller and that the emergency brake button is the emergency brake button, and check that all MCBs on the back wall panel is MCBs. Now put your key in, reset the AWS, press the engine button for 5 seconds. Dance over to the safety systems panel. All indicators should now be lit. However, this may take seconds. If the bottom is still out, check the uncle button on the driving desk. If it's lit, it means that someone has pressed the button, and that press the uncle button for seconds, and the bottom indicator should light. However, now there's a little trap here. Sometimes the catering crew will gain access to the train and now you can turn the SDO switch and trap the catering crew on the train. Now turn that switch off. The end. While you're walking to the other end, you might hear the engines running. Time to press the local engine start button in the 3901 cupboard. Now put your key up your gas and move the switch to neutral. You may need to shut an engine down at the shut an engine down cupboard. You may need to operate the engine ISO switch here. If an engine shuts down due to a fault, this light will light. The engine will just idle. If the doors don't light up when you press them, check the overspeed indicator. So, if this is lit, press the auxiliary button behind you. If you can't maintain proper toilet pressure, go to the toilet car and check the main toilet MCB in the 3901 cupboard. Toilets. The toilets aboard the Class 180 have a flush, lull, and air. It'll be necessary to question the toilet and isolate the toilet by closing the toilet isolation cock in the cupboard behind the toilet. If a call for aid alarm won't call for aid, this is currently under investigation. If the passengers report complaints from the train manager that the heating is excessive, the problem could be the train manager. If place a hand over heaters and see if heat is coming from these heaters. If there is, go to the CES coach and locate the small cupboard behind him. If an MCB is tripped, the fault will be transferred. So try and help the engineers by noting when, in other words, what it could or when you press the talk back button on the communications panel, you expect the button to light. it doesn't. It's not a fault. It is designed to light up. There has been sus on the TMS. If fire is seen or reported as coming from under one of the coaches, it's important to stay calm and not to act. It's quite normal. Don't evacuate the passengers. Remember that the system design doesn't prevent fire spreading from the underside to the passenger compartments. If an engine is cold, the engine preheater will start up in order to keep the heaters on starting. The preheater will often cause a puff of smoke to emerge from the train. This has caused some alarm to trains. However, it's quite normal. It poses fire risk. The faults and issues we've looked at in this program are mainly problems. Many faults can be resolved by simply switching off, just like at home. Finally, if you experience a fault, have a word and come on the Class 180 driver manual. Wow. What we've covered is all known failure situations in the Class 180 driver manual. If you have any comments on this program, have a word with Stan.